Through HomeownerTalkTV.com, we ask our viewers to send in questions. This week's question is from Stephen. And Stephen asks, our board wants more news in our community newsletter. Is there a required percentage for business topics? John, any thoughts on that?
David, what goes into a newsletter is obviously, a lot of it's discretionary, but if the board of directors of the association is using the newsletter as the vehicle for giving their notice of the meetings, then there are absolutely statutory requirements, minimum requirements that must be in there. So most associations are now using the newsletter as if they have one, as the notice requirement to save time and expense for additional notices. And so a portion of that newsletter may actually include agendas or where to pick up the agenda. And it has to have the statutory notice requirements as to where, when, and the where, when, and time of the meeting, and then there's requirements that have to be in there as far as they get to speak, they can have copies of the minutes, and so there's certain things that must be in there. So there's kind of a balancing between efficiency and expense. What are you looking for? So, but there is, if they may need to make the newsletter, they could make the newsletter longer. They could decide to split and do the newsletter as without the notice requirement and have a separate notice. But it kind of depends upon how the board wants to do things. But in today's economy, it all's coming down to money pretty much, and they're looking for ways to save it. And also, there's a new statutory requirement that says if you start putting in boards' opinions on stuff or what their position on official matters, then homeowners have the right to put in equal space for that thing. So boards are not as inclined to get into that because now that could expand the length of the newsletter as well.
And I think it's just fantastic that he's actually reading the newsletter. So that's kind of unusual.
Kudos for reading that thing.
John, thank you for your comments on that. We encourage all of our viewers to ask us more questions through our website. If you'd like to be in the legislative loop, the legislature starts again in February, please visit our website at homeownertalktv.com to sign up, and you will be in that legislative loop.
We'd like to thank our guests today, State Senator Allison Koepening, Attorney Michael Schulman, and lobbyist Gary Milliken. We really appreciate their insights. That's all for this edition of Homeowner Talk. We'd also like to thank our partners, Alliance Association Financial Services, Classic Landscape, Nevada Association Services, and Western Risk Insurance. Remember, you can always find information about this program. You can also drop us a line at homeownertalktv.com. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Homeowner Talk.